Welcome back, everybody. It's time to talk NHL hockey. Yes, I'm even wearing my hockey hat. That's right. I am in the mood, and I am so excited to be able to talk to our NHL managing editor, Jim Cerny, who's here. Of course, Jim is well known around the hockey community, from broadcast to working with the NHL. Now he's here with us at Sportsnaut and over at Forever Blue Shirts. So we're excited to have Jim, who's with us directly from the All-Star game, of course, at the Scotiabank Arena. We are going to talk a little bit about hockey, but we got to get into this trade. I'm telling you, of course, going into the All-Star game, who would have thought that Elias Lindholm would be traded now? The deadline not till March, another month to go, but there's already a lot of action. Jim, talk to me about this trade and sort of the buzz around it there at the All-Star game.
Yeah, it was a big trade. Elias Lindholm was right at the top of, the watch list, if you will, guys that could get traded. He's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. Calgary was trying to extend him, but apparently their offer was not to his liking. And GM Craig Conroy said, as soon as he knew that there was kind of a, too vast a gap there to bridge, that they'd have to move him. And to be honest, I think Calgary did a really terrific job. They get Kuzmenko back, a guy who was a big goal scorer for the Vancouver Canucks last season, who has struggled this season under Rick Tocchet. But he's certainly a guy that, has one good NHL season under his belt and gives them something to work with moving forward. They also got a first-round pick. They got a couple picks in the trade, a couple prospects as well. So this is a big-time trade. But the thing that grabs you about it, it's happening at the All-Star break, right? You still have 4 weeks to go until the trade deadline on March 8th. And now, arguably, the biggest name has come off the board. I mean, we can't predict who else could be traded, but of the names of guys that were expected to be dealt, this was a big deal. And some crazy circumstances around it too. Lindholm was telling us yesterday here in Toronto that he was flying home from Mexico, or flying back to Calgary from Mexico, to which I did ask Elias Lindholm, wait a minute, you're burying the lead here, because who knew that there was a direct flight from Calgary to Mexico?
Go figure.
Versa, right? Anyway, so he said somewhere halfway back to Calgary, all of a sudden he got cell service, he got cell reception on his phone somehow. And he looked at it and he had like 36 messages. He's like,
my goodness.
Uh-oh. And uh-oh was a good uh-oh for him. He's going to arguably the best team in the NHL this season, the Vancouver Canucks. So neat little story, certainly a big deal trade-wise. And I think it shows that contenders are going to be aggressive. They're not going to wait till March 7th or 8th ahead of the deadline. If they can get a deal done now, they're going to get it done now.